Today, we're excited to explore the creative process of Brooke Douglas, a talented wedding and engagement photographer from Wolf City, Texas. In this session, Brooke gives us a glimpse into her approach to capturing love stories and shares her thoughts on Polarr Next after trying it out for the first time. She's never had the opportunity to implement any type of AI editing programs into her current workflow, so I'm very excited for you all to hear her thoughts. We'll discuss how Polarr Next could potentially make her editing not only faster, but also more intuitive, especially compared to her current workflow. Stick around to hear Brooke's thoughts on how this powerful platform might change the way she approaches her edits. You won't want to miss this. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today, I've got a very special guest all the way from Wolf City. We got Brooke Douglas here, photographer. I would love for you, Brooke, to just introduce yourself and tell us who you are and what you do.
Hi, just like he said, I'm Brooke Douglas. I'm focused in Texas, meaning I live in Texas, I work in Texas, I go to church in Texas. I have been doing photography for several years now, probably since I was around 16, and I say that lightly. I have not been doing it professionally since I was 16. I started off just on animals, horses, goats, because we still have goats. And my friends wanted to, well, they got engaged, and so I took their engagement pictures, and I fell in love with portraying and like capturing love on the camera. And it took off from there very slowly, in the sense of I was very afraid to put myself out there. And about, I want to say 4 years ago, my husband encouraged me to officially post all of my pictures and say, "Hey, I'm Brooke Douglas Photography. Come let me take your pictures."
Nice.
And I've done a few weddings. I've done several engagements, several families, and my favorites are couples and engagements.
Perfect. I love it. I like how I think you're the first guest that we've had that started out with goats and horses and things like that. And then that kind of just translated to people and capturing
You got to start
love.
somewhere. Everyone has a soul, and you capture those whenever you take the pictures.
Yeah. And it's so good to hear. There's a lot of people that started during, the last 4 years, last 5 years with COVID, and kind of having that moment in their life where things slow down in the world and you're able to kind of think through, like, what do I want to do with my life? And it's great that your husband encouraged you to pursue that which you love. And where would you say, like, you get most of your clients from? Like, did you ever subscribe to like the Wedding Wire, the Knot, or is it just all friends, family, people from church, that kind of thing?
Most of it is friends and families, and it started out just word of mouth, and it's still very much word of mouth is the best form of advertisement ever. And I do post on Facebook and TikTok and Instagram, but for the most part, that's just my portfolio out there. I don't get a lot of traffic online, so it's mostly the small town people coming together and be like, "Hey, Brooke Douglas, you take some good photos."
Yeah, I heard of you. I saw your TikTok. That's how we found you, of course. I mean, we're just kind of going through TikTok looking for photographers. And it's not like every single photographer, like, the people that we interview, they have a certain quality of their work that we, love to see, not just your work, but also professionalism and things like that. And you got your business going. So, with Polarr Next, we want to challenge photographers on their editing workflow and seeing if they can achieve what their quality is currently with Polarr Next. So with that being said, how did you get your start with like photo editing? Did you start with like Photoshop Elements or Microsoft Paint or Lightroom?
I started my first session, the engagement session that I did. I used the generic Windows photo editing software, and Sepia was the bomb. And then that turned into, I'm just going to keep using that until I make enough money to pay for Lightroom. That was the one. Lightroom and Adobe were the only ones that I knew about. I didn't know about Imagine or Capture One. I think that's another one. I didn't know about that. And so I downloaded Lightroom Classic, and that's all I've ever used.
Nice. Had you had any experience with any other like AI editing or culling programs out there?
I know Lightroom started introducing AI a little bit into their software.
Yeah.
Whenever it comes to like the generative fill and everything, but no, I have not. I just started using Chat GPT because AI has kind of scared me a little bit, and not scared me, but I respect technology.
Okay. That's a good outlook. But you haven't had like a need. You haven't like sat down and be like, whoa, I'm shooting all these weddings. I need to speed up my workflow.
No, I haven't.
Okay. And well, is that the goal for you? Is that like you want to continue to take on bookings and do more weddings frequently and stuff?
Yes, I absolutely love photographing weddings. They're so stressful. They're very stressful, but they're so much fun. And I'd like to get to a point where I have just several projects to work on at the same time. Yeah. However, I've been super blessed in the sense that I'm busy enough to have stuff to do, but not so busy to where I don't like my job anymore. So I'm at a great spot of staying focused and staying productive without feeling overwhelmed. And so now's the time to grow. And now's a great opportunity to do something like this. I'm really excited about it.
Heck yeah. So we're going to have you bring in a project to Polarr Next, and we're going to hear your feedback and impressions. So let's go ahead and switch it up. You ready?
Okay.
Okay. So I'm a little bit higher than you just because on this side, I don't want to block anything important, which we're going to get into culling, and I don't want my face to block anything. And then you're a little bit lower on your side just because I've got you right in the sweet spot where you're not going to block anything for our viewers. So if you guys are wondering why we're a little off balance, it's because Polarr Next has changed.
It's giving Brady Bunch.
Yes.
The theme song to Brady Bunch.
Nice. All right. Let's do this, Brooke. Here we go.
We're going to select a folder and come down here. I'm going to come up here. Oh, I did already open this in here, so I'm just going to overwrite the project and
that's all right.
Pull through it.
All right, we're going to cull through this. So,
and it's a little slower. Oh, there we go.
There's look at that handsome guy.
He wanted a picture, so he got a picture.
That's awesome. Having a partner, a spouse, being willing to be your little test model. You know,
oh my gosh,
it's good.
He's just, while these are loading, he's just the best at that's so fast. Yeah, he's my helper whenever it comes to posing my clients, because I'm not good at explaining things, so I pose him and me together and give my clients a visual representation of what I want. Nice.
So real quick for those watching, Brooke explained to me that her internet connection is on Wi-Fi. And so that is one thing to be aware of, that Polarr Next does require internet to open and then also to export photos. We've heard from people saying like they've been able to open it, go offline, still process things, but we don't really like put that out there and really talk like that just because the results can vary with different people. So internet is required, but it'll be good for this session to see what the results are from Brooke. and being on a Wi-Fi connection. So
even with my slow internet, it's still much faster than Lightroom. And I'm not trying to dog another application at all, but just realistically, that's just true.
that's just what your experience has been.
Yes. The only thing. Oh wait, no, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Okay, so let's go ahead and cull through this. So like, what is your normal culling process? Like, how do you flag, assign stars, colors, all that good stuff?
Honestly, I would. This is so bad, but before I ever tried Polarr Next, I would just go through my whole um uh gallery,
Yeah.
and edit as needed, and then like I'd edit each individual photo. I didn't even know about batch editing.
Okay.
So this was totally new for me, and this changed the game completely.
We
Oh
love to
my
hear
gosh.
that.
Yes. But that's just one of those things of I still didn't fully understand Lightroom.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't user friendly like this application is. It was very much a you have to take training on it in order to learn more about it. And I did, but it wasn't
Yeah.
like self-explanatory.
That's good to hear. And I would agree with that. You know, people from the outside kind of opening up your eyes to like new experiences or new ways. Cause like I was like that too, where I would just bring my photos into Lightroom and then just go through and just edit what I felt was good. And then, you know, once I got to meet other photographers and hear like, oh, you want to cull through your photos first and then edit those selected, so you're not like wasting your time going through the ones that aren't good or that you don't want to deliver, things like that. So
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, let's go through and look at these. I'm just gonna come up here. I don't like that one. I like that one. And I'm using your editing, your culling, whatever example. Yeah. Of marking them green. I like that. I also like the speed keys. I'm a speed key person. I don't really like using my mouse that much. And so I love having the speed keys.
Okay.
The only thing I wish it had was like hovering over a picture and it previewed the picture like bigger in a side screen or something. Does that make sense?
Versus what you're seeing in the middle.
Yeah, like just a bigger preview.
So like if you hovered, so if you're currently like your viewport right now is showing what you're selected, but if you hovered over another photo with your mouse, you want to see that kind of like pop up bigger.
Yeah, like if I hovered over this photo here, maybe it popping up like right where the face focus is.
And what stops you from just moving your arrow to the next photo?
I don't know, Aaron.
You just want to like compare it with the other?
Yeah, I guess so, without actually having to like if I don't have to flag both of them, then
so instead of like, so go back to those green ones, for instance. So like choosing between this one and the other one. So like instead of having to go back and forth between the two, you would rather like to see them side by side.
Yeah, kind of.
So like what if we had a mode where you can do it where you can select that first one and then you can like drag the one on the right into the viewport and now you can see them both side by side. Is that something that's helpful, or would you still rather just mouse over it?
That would be helpful too, or even just like shift and then it takes if you hover over it, or control and then you hover over it and it will show the preview next to it.
Interesting. I don't think we've ever had that kind of feedback before, so I'll definitely bring it up with the team.
Cool. Sorry if that was out of.
No, it's good. We like to hear this kind of stuff.
Look at them. They're so cute. Okay. I don't like that one. I like that one. Oh, I was out. I'm sorry.
So, how do you like the auto grouping feature? That's something I know you're not used to in Lightroom. You just kind of go through photos as they are. How do you like this auto grouping feature?
I like it. It's very new to me. And so like I'm having to remember to hit the arrow up button or the arrow down button. But I do really like that even if you are up on the group part and you're scrolling through the photos in the group,
Mhm.
it doesn't like go back to the beginning. It just goes to the next group. And I like that
Yes.
a lot.
You don't have to like press down or up. You can just keep going.
Yeah, I do like that. Oh, there we go.
Nice.
He's so cute. Um, there we go. It's slowing down just a tiny bit.
All right. And that's okay. And for those viewers watching, we are currently in beta. So, from time to time, you may encounter a bug or two, but for you, Brooke, this being kind of like your first experience getting outside of Lightroom and even playing around with something in beta, like, does that worry you at all? Like, or do you feel like having at least like access to me or our team to like provide feedback, does that help assure you in
Oh
a way?
yeah, it assures me a lot. And then also knowing that like my husband is in software developing, so bugs I hear about them a lot. And they're normal whether the program's 3 months old or 3 years old. Bugs happen constantly, especially if you're like updating the software regularly.
Yeah.
And that's just normal. But also my like with it lagging, I feel like that's more so my internet connection than the actual software.
Okay.
But it's still extremely fast. I like that too.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay. I'm gonna flag a few more
Okay. Sounds good.
different lighting.
And this is, again, just good feedback to be able to show our team, be like, hey, I jumped on a call the other day with a user. This is the experience we were having, and we need to fix this.
Yeah. And that's good too, because like I emailed you and you were really quick to get back with me. Like you
Mhm.
weren't.
Yeah.
I love fall. Fall's the best time for just all photos. Here. So I liked that. I don't know if you saw what I did, but I didn't want to cull through the photos that I was in, the group that I was in. So I just went down
Mm.
and came over to this group and I came up. Like I like that. I didn't have to
Go all the way
scroll
through.
all the way down to look for them because I knew where I took the photos. I knew what part
Nice.
of the.
So, how is it editing your photos in a web browser? Is that kind of weird as well? Like, oh, like this web browser can handle all my raw files versus like a heavier desktop app.
No, it's not weird because it feels like an app. Like it doesn't
Okay.
feel in the web browser. So I honestly forgot that I was in a web browser until you said something.
That's good. Yeah, yeah, you can totally full screen it and then you get like that kind of app look. And then um I know that we had just introduced Polarr Next to you this week, but you should definitely check out the desktop version as well. That kind of gives you that access to like put Polarr Next right on your desktop or on your taskbar. How about like the face focus? Is that helpful for you? Someone who called in Lightroom for the majority of your time at with your business. Did you care about like the Facebook focus, or does it influence your decision on what images you're picking?
It does and it doesn't. Honestly, I kind of if I'm not sure about the photo, like does it look right? Are their eyes open? I'll look over to the face focus.
Yeah.
Um, It'll also help me see more clearly, like if it's zoomed in, is it going to be super, super blurry? Like, what is it going to look like? But sometimes it's not super accurate. Like their eyes will be open, but maybe they just have almond shaped eyes and it's not they think that they're not
Halfway.
open.
Yeah.
They, I like it, but maybe it's also I just like it because I'm able to see their faces closer up.
Good. Glad. That's awesome.
All right. Edit photos. Green. I also really like how easy that was, just being able to choose which group you want to edit, which flag photos you want to edit. I liked that because just extremely user friendly, very fast.
Awesome.
I personally want to do the pre-trained AI style. Do you want me to do the create your own style?
No, let's go. I mean, we got a lot of interviews, people doing their own styles, but if you like, one of our pre-trained styles, that's awesome.
I like this one. Like you already know, I like this one.
Yeah, that ethereal.
Ethereal. Yeah. I like the warm photos with like slightly not reduced contrast, but just warmer, more romantic photos.
Okay. And so, I mean, the thing with Polarr Next is that it's a totally kind of different workflow, because Lightroom, you're dealing with presets, and then you're also adding profiles on top. Whereas right now, Polarr Next, we just have the option to do presets. You can export your profiles, like your Lightroom profile, and then import it into Polarr Next as a preset. In a way, you can kind of like add the preset and then add the profile. It's not going to be like the same in Lightroom when you have your preset and then you can select your profile. But there's like ways around it to make it feel like that. But with Polarr Next, we're all about like your style, like your overall look. Because, at the end of when you're editing in Lightroom and you have your finished project, you have that overall style. And that's what like we're trying to go with here, is not just having a preset to apply to an individual image. But I mean, look at this. It already processed all the photos in your style. And now you have like, you can look through, you can see, like, I like using this grid view to see like what's the cohesive look. And you can kind of look through and see like what's too dark, what's not, what's too warm, whatever. And in all my experience using other AI editing programs like Imagine or Aftershoot, every single AI editor, like there will be photos that it misses the mark, that it needs to be adjusted. And so, overall, like, what is your experience just looking through these images? Like, do you feel like this is a good jumping off point for you?
Oh, absolutely. It's very consistent. And I also really like down here at the bottom where it says reference locked in process. While it's editing all of the photos, because I was playing it around here before, and it was taking a minute because of my Wi-Fi to go through and apply the preset to all of the photos.
Yeah.
And I was gonna scroll all the way down, and because I didn't do the culling, I just went through edit photos for this one, and I was gonna scroll all the way down to figure out, okay, how many photos has it edited, how many more is left. But it tells you here, it'll say processed however many, and then processing, and it'll give you how many more you have left to go through. And I really like how you're able to see it in real time, like how much it's gone through.
Awesome. Well, let's jump in and see what adjustments you'd make and how well it performs.
Yeah. Oh, I will also say the toggles, is that what these are called?
Sliders?
The sliders. There we go. Thank you. The sliders are a lot more, maybe not a lot more, but they are more sensitive in Polarr Next than they are in Lightroom. So you don't have to move them as much. And I like that a lot. They're much more responsive.
Nice.
I also really like, I'm going to say this, I don't know if anyone's mentioned this yet or touched on that this is a pro. The fact that Polarr Next, I feel like it doesn't just gear towards photographers, but it gears towards people in the sense of photography isn't always super steady. Like, you are your own business owner, you are running your own business, you wear a lot of hats, you're doing a lot. And sometimes, like during the freezing winter, you don't have as many sessions going on as I do in the fall.
Yeah.
The fall is for sure the busiest time of the season. And the fact that you can just pay as you go
Mm-hmm.
it speaks highly to me, in the sense of, it's very, I'm not always busy. I don't always
Yeah.
have $30 a month to spend on
Yeah.
something. And then the fact that I can pay as I go just takes the pressure off. It makes me want to, like, just focus on the photo editing and not like the stress of, okay, I have to bring clients and I have to gotta do this. Like, I can just focus on the business.
That's really good. That's good feedback, because we've heard a lot of people say they hate the subscription model of Adobe, especially like when you lock in and then you want to cancel your subscription, and then you have to pay up front that remainder of what you signed up for and stuff like that. And so Polarr Next is very like, you have your pay as you go option, I always liken it to like the gym, like where I get super motivated to go to the gym. I'm paying $10 a month to Planet Fitness, and I'm like, it's cheap enough. I can just leave it on there. I'll go eventually, but then like 5 months down the line is like, I haven't used it at all. So like, yeah, totally use that pay as you go feature, buy the credits beforehand. And then if you need more, then go get more. And then, but if you have the volume and you're able to, continue to bring in clients, then getting those unlimited subscriptions definitely helps as well.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I feel like I don't really have to mess with this one much.
Yeah.
It's a little slow. It's a little laggy, but once again, that's just my.
Yeah. And then another thing too is you're also streaming your desktop to me, so that is also using quite a bit of resources from your computer.
Yeah.
So, but you've been busy editing while we've been talking. What is it like for you to utilize like marking as a reference versus like Lightroom's shift, click, batch sync, and all that stuff?
I love it.
Yeah.
The less buttons, the better. Like,
All right.
I love it so much, and I really like. It's very satisfying to hit mark as a reference and then seeing like it like goes through the rest of the photos. I like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm all for marking it as a reference. I've actually never heard of that. Like, I haven't seen anything like this. So
That's awesome. This is a good little thing. So you marked the wrong one. Let me ask you this. Do you know where all the photos are that you didn't select?
I do.
All right, let's see it.
They're over here. Right? You
Bottom
just hit
right hand corner. Yes, you hit that hidden eye icon.
Okay. And then hang on, my other screen's in my way. There we go.
There it is.
So hidden. That's not what I want. I don't like that one.
Yeah, so you can easily be like, okay, all right, that one I did mark on accident. I can hide it. And then if you want to bring something else in, you can mark it as a green, and then you have to right click it and then click unhide.
Okay.
And then that'll bring it to your visible timeline. And what's great about that is that once you unhide it, the Polarr Next AI will edit that automatically, just like that.
Look and see down here. It says processing.
Yep.
One photo. Boom. Look at that. I like that.
And then you can just go right back to hiding all those unselected ones. Have you had a chance even to go back to culling mode?
I have. I've done that before. Yes.
Yeah. How's that experience? Is that kind of nice to know that like you don't have to open up another program or anything?
Yes, I like that a lot.
Have you had a chance to check out masking?
Yes. I have. We're gonna hide that one. Oh, I could just hit H. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I have, and I also definitely hide, or I spot
Spot
clean.
heal?
Spot heal. There we
Spot
go.
clean.
I spot clean a lot
I'm sure.
like this. But yesterday I was playing around with masking the sky, masking the background, masking the subjects.
How's the performance been with that?
Oh my gosh, it's so fast.
Yeah.
With Lightroom, I'll hit like select subject and it's up in the top or like over where it's selecting the subject. It's just spinning and spinning and detecting subject. And then like 5 minutes later, I've got my subject selected. It's this one so fast, so fast.
Nice. We love to hear that.
Yeah, very, very much, very fast. I was talking to my friend about it today.
Okay.
And I was like, I've got another photographer friend. And I was like, she's definitely,
Yeah, the edges can get a little wonky sometimes.
well then, we're going to Control V and zoom in.
In these moments, I honestly, I always end up just cropping it out.
That's such a good idea. That's such a good idea.
Yeah.
This is where, like, I can get, what is that called? I can get, let's do, wait, hang on. How do you do the, oh, there we go. I found it.
There you go.
Boom. Okay, perfect. Awesome sauce.
Perfect.
Look, that one is a little.
What is your favorite lens to shoot with?
I love my 35 millimeter lens.
Is that the ZS line?
The what? Yes, yeah. Yeah. I shot with the 35 millimeter for this.
Nice.
I'm gonna bring that down just a little bit.
35 is one of my favorite focal lengths for sure.
That's so cute. We're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna crop it first.
All right. I'm trying to think what else. Any other things about Polarr Next that has stood out to you? Any new features or just the way that it is, the program itself? Anything that really stands out to you?
Let's see. Oh, have you ever heard of Loop Deck?
Yes.
Is that something that y'all are wanting? Is it already compatible with Loop Deck? Are y'all going to try and make it compatible?
Do you have one?
I do, yes.
Okay. I actually have I have a Monogram Creative Console. It's very similar, buttons and dials and things. So we're not like native where you can go in to your Loop Deck software and like select Lightroom and then select whatever. What I've done is just create hotkey buttons and dials. So like on my Monogram, my button is V or, you know, right or left on the arrow keys. So I would suggest for you just go into Loop Deck and then program all your buttons and dials to just whatever the hotkey shortcuts are in our program.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. Well, I'm almost done. This has been so fast. I mean, we've got 23 photos and we've been talking. I'm not good at multitasking, so talking and doing this at the same time is.
And slow Wi-Fi and streaming your screen to us. You've battled through some adversities, but we've arrived.
We have. We for sure have. I accidentally bumped that up really high.
That's all good.
Shadows.
Have you actually even tried to import any Lightroom presets or anything?
I have not. No, I haven't gone through that yet.
Interesting. I'm glad that you found a look already right off the bat that you like to where you don't feel like you need to import your Lightroom preset.
No, this is much better.
And then, of course, you can always go to a photo that you like, and then you can click that plus button and create your own preset now in Polarr
Mhm.
Next. And then you also have your style. So if you click that drop down button on the right side by the culling photos button, you can just
Mhm.
rename that. And then now that's like your style with all your
Ooh.
references that you trained.
Oh,
And since you use the pre-trained style, after
yeah.
you rename this, I'm gonna have you click the about this AI style, and we're gonna see how many references are trained here.
Okay.
And it looks like, yeah, you got 126 now. So the next time you have an engagement session, whatever, you just use this AI style on that project, and yeah, it's gonna get you right up to this point where your photos are gonna look very cohesive and very dialed in. Good jumping off point.
Sweet. Okay.
Yeah. Why don't you hit that grid view real quick and then let's just kind of survey all the images. What is this? Is this the kind of quality and look that like you would deliver to a client?
Yes. I think like looking at it in grid view, I want to go back in and do more edits. Like,
Yeah.
but the quality, yes. The style, I'm still working on. But
Yeah.
like these here, 100% I would deliver them now, especially these. But
That
like,
is awesome.
I just want to edit some of the background and lighting
Yeah.
in some of these. But for the most part, I mean, we've only been truly editing for 15 minutes, I feel like. And
Yeah.
we're already at like a good stopping point. This is good.
So yeah, we are gonna wrap this up, and I love those comments, but I want to maybe just clarify again or ask again. What would you say to those who are curious about Polarr Next or maybe resistant to this program because of the word, AI or whatever? Do you feel like this is something that is replacing photographers, or do you feel like this is something that just comes alongside you, like your own assistant, and helps you in your editing?
Okay, so a few things. What could stop you because you get 2,000 credits for free to export photos? And if you just want to try it out, make an account, upload your photos, edit your photos, and you don't even have to export them or pay anything. As for the fact, is it replacing photographers? No, because even though I was able to edit the photos extremely quickly, I still had to go in and edit the photos. I still had to do work. However, I didn't have to do as much tedious culling that I normally have to do or tedious editing on every single photo. I'm still going through, I'm still doing my job. I'm just doing it a lot quicker and more efficient now.
That's awesome. Love it. And I love what you said. You still have to do work on it. And that's what I feel like people are afraid of. And we actually had a video drop today from a YouTuber who did a review on our product. And it's not photographers or like editors necessarily that's going to be replaced by AI. It's other editors and photographers using AI that is going to
Mhm.
replace you. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like the same thing with like film and digital cameras. You know what I mean? You know, if you're just resistant to it, you're going to be left behind because there's just an easier way, an easier process of doing this, taking those tedious little things and now kind of allowing your assistant, Polarr Next, to do that for you, and then you can just concentrate. Because all throughout this editing thing, you kept saying like, I'm still gonna go back and dial this in, and it's still taking your creativity, your
Mhm.
vision to like bring this to life, and it's just our program that's gonna help you do that. So, and I do want to touch on one thing you said too, as far as like uploading. It's For those who are worried like using a web browser, none of these photos that Brooke edited today were uploaded to our servers. They're not being used to train our AI. All of it is being processed locally on your computer. So you have your catalog file, you have your style file in your project folder, and then you can back those up when this project's done and you move it off to storage. Keep the catalog file, keep the style file intact and with your project, so that if you do need to open it up in a few years or whatever, you have that and you can jump off from there. But awesome. Thank you so much for taking us through, showing us, what you look for in culling in your process. And then as far as editing goes, like I actually really like this look, and I'm going to have to take a revisit to ethereal. There we go. I'm going to have to use that in an upcoming project because it looks really stunning. It looks great.
Thank you.
Well, Brooke, thank you so much for hanging out with me and bringing us through. Thank you, everyone, for watching this video. If you liked it, please hit that like button and share down below. Comment and tell us what your favorite thing was about this video. And also, Brooke, we're going to have your website and Instagram on this video as well. So if you want to connect with Brooke and be like, yo, I'm in Wolf City or nearby, would love to do a workshop with you, or let's meet up and show me some Polarr Next, I'm sure Brooke would love to connect. But thank you so much.
Thank you, Aaron. It was really great talking to you.
Thank you so much for tuning in to hear Brooke's thoughts on Polarr Next. If you're ready to streamline your own editing workflow and experience the power of AI-driven culling and editing, you can access Polarr Next right now for free. We're giving you all access to our advanced features, and to get you started, we're offering 2,000 free export credits. Don't miss out on the chance to see how Polarr Next can revolutionize the way you edit. Click the link below and try it today. We'll see you on the next one.